Ether on demand. Alpha Noah has a message from... Or is it Moonreader? For the Scions. So yeah, I've actually got the correct way of saying that now. Ah, ere I forget, I believe Moonbringer has requested a gathering of the Scions. I assume there has been some progress concerning our efforts to combat the Ascians. Pray inform her that our business with the Ishgardians is concluded for the moment. I shall be along once I've completed my communications with the Crystal Braves. And of course... unable to summon a minion here? Oh, well that is boring. So he's gonna get left out, even though he can see and hear everything anyways. All done with a talk with dragons? Wonderful, because Ascians are next on the menu. Let's head into the Sla, shall we? Do. Actually, I wonder if it's what Minfilia now says if I speak to her normally. I'll see after this. Or I might have missed it. I wonder about the thing from last time, by the way. You know. Or you knew. For a second?
Now that everything's calmed down a bit, relatively speaking I mean, I thought it might be a good time to share our progress on the weapon.
Yosh.
I believe we're on the verge of a breakthrough.
Well, don't keep us all in suspense.
Just in case anyone's forgotten, let's start by reviewing what we already know. So, an Ascian is an immortal because its soul doesn't return to the ethereal realm when its host is defeated. Instead, it flees to the place that lies between our world and the void. Therefore, the first step to permanently defeating an Ascian is preventing its soul from making this journey. And if you recall, when we last gathered here, I had verified that white Eorzea has adequate capacity to entrap the beings, albeit only briefly.
Which left the small matter of their extermination.
Aye. To unmake an Ascian soul, one must needs smite it with a concentrated burst, or blade, of purest ether. However, we wanted for both the data and the means to forge such a weapon.
Short of experimenting on an actual Ascian, you see, there's no way to gauge how much ether its soul is made of. As such, we don't know what etheric density our blade needs to have in order for it to work.
So we'll just have to make the densest blade we can and hope for the best. Though that would require a lot of ether. Hang on a minute! Why didn't we think of this before? White Eorzea can hold an absolute heap of ether, can't it?
Please tell me you're joking. God's sakes, Ida. I feel as though I'm reliving the same scene over and over with you. How many times do you need to be told that white Eorzea cannot store ether for long periods? Being intangible matter, ether is given to dispersion. Only in its crystallized form is it a stable source of energy. I will test you later on this, so see to it you do not forget.
Right, yes. It's all coming back to me.
So our hopes rest on good old crystals again, do they? While they are certainly reliable, they leave something to be desired in the area of portability.
I'm carrying loads of them.
Indeed. I am reminded of the quantity of corrupted crystals required to thwart Leviathan, and the extraordinary lengths to which the Lamentsons went to transport them. What if it should prove that a similar quantity was needed to destroy an Ascian's soul? Or still more?
I do not envy the poor sod who has to lug all of that around, on the off chance that an Ascian appears.
That's the very problem we set out to solve. And I reckon we've found the answer. If it isn't practical to lug around the ether we need, we'll just have to draw upon another source. And the only viable source is the land.
If you mean to tap the Great River of Ether, know that it will entail considerable risk. Meddling with the currents may well induce a surge like to the one which despoiled Mordona.
Give me a bit more credit, will you? Why would we need to tap the river when there are veritable reservoirs jutting out all over the land? I speak of corrupted crystals. It might be that their aspect is out of balance, but a crystal's a crystal. It contains ether, and we can help ourselves to it.
While corrupted crystals are indeed abundant, there is no guarantee that they will be in close proximity at a crucial moment.
But what if we don't need them to be? What if we could tap their power from afar? A malm away, say? If we could do that, we'd have ready access to ether aplenty in almost every corner of Eorzea. I've yet to put my theories to the proof, but I've got a good feeling about this. If no one has any objections, I'd like to see where this avenue leads.
If you think it worth your while, you have my blessing. But tell us, what are your theories? I, for one, am most eager to understand the process, however vaguely.
I thought you might say that, but no one wants to listen to boring old theories all day, do they? I know I don't. So with your permission, I'd like to try something a bit more hands-on. I've already built an etheric siphon especially for this purpose, and I've been meaning to try it out. Thing is, the profusion of corrupted crystals in Mordona makes it something of a high-risk testing ground. If anything goes awry with the siphon, it would be better if it didn't happen within spitting distance of quite so much ether. Ideally, I need an isolated specimen. Does anyone know where I can find one?
I suppose Kurthus kinda does.
May I suggest northern Thanalan? There you will find corrupted crystals of middling size, standing a reasonable distance apart. Ideal for your needs, I should have thought. Oh, and if you do elect to visit the place, I should be much obliged if you would assist me in another matter while you are in the area.
Has something happened?
Movement has been observed at Castrum Meridianum. During Operation Archon, the Alliance dealt the stronghold a heavy blow. Its facilities were extensively damaged, and its garrison reduced to a fraction of its former strength. Not long after our forces withdrew, however, their ranks were replenished by reinforcements from Castrum's Sentry. They now seek to rebuild, and to this end they have their sights set upon the ceruleum processing plant. Having lost the Empire's support, the 14th Legion lacks the resources to sustain itself. To them, this is a bid for survival, and they will doubtless fight like desperate men. Though I have dispatched the Crystal Braves, I fear their strength alone may not suffice to stay the Imperial assault. I would request the Scion's aid in the defensive effort.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you were trying to inveigle us into fighting your battle with the promise of shiny crystals. Well then, consider me inveigled. I won't lie, the crystals you speak of sound perfect, so the Garleans have to go. Besides, we can't afford to beat about the bush. There's no telling when the Arceans will next appear.
Thine eagerness to hurl thyself into the jaws of danger cometh as little surprise. Exercise due caution, I prithee.
I was just gonna say before I clicked there, you have no idea when the next time an Ascian could appear. Boom! One appears right now. Uh-oh.
Though you have become a Crystal Brave, you are yet a Scion, Alphino. We could hardly refuse you. Pray, join the Crystal Braves and lend them your support. Thangrid and Papalymo shall accompany you.
What an odd choice of people.
Ida and Y'shtola, in the meantime I would have you assist Moonbreeder. Scout out the crystal clusters, that the testing may commence as soon as the Garlean threat has been eliminated.
See, that choice does make sense though. Y'shtola is quite intelligent and knowledgeable, and Ida is good friends with Moonbreeder.
If it please you, I shall continue mine own experiments on white orsite.
Thank you, Eorzea. Everyone, pray see to your preparations and depart as soon as you're able. Go well, and be safe.
And I'll just wait here until they've gone, then I'll go. So speak with Alfino, because I was going to teleport to the processing plant, and then I would have been really angry when I realised I needed to go and speak to someone here, because I do that a lot. Oh god, everyone's moved. It would seem the events have once more conspired to rob us of a rest and recuperation. Though I would wish it otherwise, I must ask that you head straight away to the processing plant. The Fourth have already deployed to the area and await the arrival of the Scions. Wilred will brief you on the developing situation. Meanwhile, I must rendezvous with Captain Ilbert at our headquarters in Uldar. I shall take command of our forces there with a lighter heart, knowing that you support the front lines. Your duties take you to the Northern Thunderland, do they not? We too must say our farewells to the Rising Stones for a time. Vilharman travels to Uldar, and we shall serve as her escort. At my daughter's behest, I go to contact certain old acquaintances in the Gilded City. We are beset on all sides by civil unrest and imperial machinations, threatened by primals and troubled by dragons. We need all the allies we can muster. Many of my friends hold positions of power, you see, and it is my hope that they can be convinced to aid the Scion's cause. If the past events have taught us anything, then we know that Eorzea must present a united front, or we shall fall. Ah, how extraordinary that my little Celia is involved in such far-reaching affairs. I am proud that I might now stand at her side, not only as a mother, but also as a colleague. A colleague with influential connections. But I fear that Uldar has become a place of danger, even for one so familiar with her streets. Bah! Woe betide the blackguard that so much as glares in your direction, milady. Yes, you are the hoary boulder. I shall be well protected, it seems. Shall we be on our way then? Yosh. Alright, bye. Be safe. Don't get her killed. I'm holding you responsible. You're the responsible one. We do seem to be running low on provisions. I believe an excursion to the marketplace is in order. For a small organization, we certainly chew through a prodigious amount of foodstuffs. Perhaps I should put a lock on the larder door. And then suddenly there isn't lots of people to talk to. So cerulean processing plant. Teleporter. Dun 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 dun. Let's summon one. And summon two. I've now got my full team. Now, where am I looking for you? In here? What? Why on the bed? Okay. Round the other side, round the outside, round the outside. Ah, there we are. What an odd place to stand. Ah, I was hoping for voice acting. Commander Leveler sent word you'd be coming. A veteran of your talent is most welcome. Not that I don't think we can handle the situation, mind you. I've learned a trick or two since that disaster with the Amal Jah. But returning to the task at hand. Ah, I know who you are now. You are the person who was going to summon something with the crystals. The Flames' reconnaissance scouts have reported Imperial soldiers assembling at Raban's push. Such a force is likely interested in only one thing, getting their hands on the resources found here at the processing plant. The Guardians could begin marching on us at any time, and I think it's time we speak with the Lieutenant Edelstein to finalize our counter strategy. Oh, Lieutenant Balius! My soldiers yet tell tales of your deeds during Operation Archon. Would that we could sit a while and reminisce about old times. I don't know why I did it like that. Are the Guardians on the move then? Not as such. The civilian draftmen have, however, came across several highly suspicious crates within the boundaries of the processing plant. I had my sappers take a closer look, and our worst fears were confirmed. These boxes contain powerful explosive devices. Devices of Imperial design, no less. Found inside the plant, you say? But how? We had guards stationed around the perimeter day and night. "'Tis likely the plant was infiltrated long before the Braves arrived. Master Thancred, have the Scions come in force then? All who could be spared, yes. Now, there are likely more of these Imperial explosives about the place, so I suggest we spread out and conduct a thorough sweep of the compound. Considering the volatile nature of ceruleum, even allowing one such device to escape our search may lead to us enjoying an uncomfortably close view of a rather spectacular explosion. Right then, I'll pass on the word to the fourth. What exactly should we do with these crates when we find them? Bring them here to me, carefully mind you. My sappers will render the devices harmless, as they did with the first battery found. Very well, let's get started, shall we? I wish I knew how to sing the Dead Cell theme from Metal Gear Solid 2 now. Because I think that's the song that plays while you're looking for Fat Man's bombs. So where exactly am I looking? Inconspicuously suspicious item. That's one. And they've got to be in... Oh, hello there. I've done some exploring and located the perfect place where I might conduct my experiment. A pity then that we must deal with all this Guardian nonsense before I can begin testing my theories. You've got to be in places that are not wholly visible. Wait, what the hell is this? Oh, it's the processing plant. I'm authorized. Ah, there's one. Again, inconspicuously suspicious item. Maybe this one's full of puppies. Nope, explosives.